Panda dysphoria. They call me Amanda, homie.
Panda maniaco.
Amanda the panda. Panda dysphoria. Amanda the panda, homie. Hi, my name's Harvey Finkelstein. I'm with Jewish Family Service.
What up, what up? It's Garage Gym Homie, and I'm talking about my progression into training and 5 things that I've learned from it, man. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out all the dang time for you, man. So click subscribe, and let's get into this, man. God bless all of you homies, man. I hope you're feeling amazing living from here, man, staying out of here. I just want to make a quick video, man. I'll make it a quickie, man, because together we get this dang muscle, man. That's why I say together, let's get this dang muscle, because that's what literal meaning, man. Can't get more precise. So for the first part, I'm just going to talk about a little bit about my progression into training. And then the second part, I'm going to talk about a few of the things that come to mind that I learned from it. And let's get right into it, man. So I started training, man. Well, I started working out when I was like 7, man. My mom's boyfriend at the time, my parents got divorced when I was 7. He was a freaking maniac runner. He still is today. And, you know, all he wanted to do was run, man, a runner. And he used to talk about it like it was dope. And that was kind of my first introduction to it. And that always stuck with me, man. He always talked about getting the buzz and, you know, being on a good one, getting high. You know, I always, since I was a little boy, it always resonated with me that working out is about getting high, for him at least, and I looked up to him. So he used to take me over to the high school trick, man, when I was like 7, and time me on a mile, and I would go all out, man, to the point where there were tears coming down my eyes from how hard I would push it, and I would feel high, man. I connected at a very young age that working out got me high. I mean, very young age, how good I felt after, just the head high I would get, the runner's high. I mean, I was always had that addict part of me, man. So then, like, you know, throughout the years, I never like became a workout guy or whatever. I was never really stuck to it, but that always stuck with me. And then when I got sent away to boarding school, you know, I worked out. You know, we used to bench press, we used to do calisthenics, we used to, and I was always chasing the buzz. You know, when I got to boarding school, we do card games with the game of push 21, and we flip a card and do the push-ups. We would bench, do abs, all this. I was building some muscle, man, when I was like 17, 18, and then, you know, became after that, went back to getting high. So that was just like a year there. So when I really started working out was when I was detoxing off heroin and crystal meth. My brother, and even in prison, man, like I would do calisthenics and stuff, and in jail I went to burpees and all that. So I was like, you know, I always dabbled with it, but I never stuck to it and became the serious iron pumper that I am today. Let's put it that way. Because I didn't have God, man. I didn't have the motivation and the discipline, which didn't come from me. You know, that came from a power greater than myself, as they say. I could never stick to it then. So when I got sober, man, my brother used to drag me to Powerhouse Gym here in Novi. And I didn't know what I was doing, man. We used to pump together. I would just follow him because he's a personal trainer and a physique competitor. And so he would, you know, I would just follow the workouts. And I was on a mission to lose weight because I got heavy in jail. I had low testosterone. I was detoxed off heroin. I was eating like all soy in jail they had here in Livingston County Jail. I gained a ton of weight. And so he was taking me to the gym, up until I went to jail. Then I had to go to jail for 6 months when I got sober, and then I got out, and I had to turn myself in to go to jail, and then I got out, and then he continued to take me. So he originally took me because, it would feel good from detoxing off heroin, something that made me feel good and whatever. So I was doing cardio and all that. Then I gained all that weight in jail, and I got out. And so my progression into training was whatever split we were doing with him. He was training for shows and all that, so I would just follow with him. And I've done it all, man. I've done all the splits from back and buys, chest and tries, what's it called? Whatever it is, the legs, the traditional hitters, shoulders, whatever. And then I've done, I did a split for a long time. I did shoulders and arms together. That was a great split. I did chest and back together because that was a push-pull. I did legs and then calves and abs. That was like a 4-day split, then rest. And I used to do cardio after my training. So I would just progress into different kind of splits, And my training, the way that I train now, I mean, I get a lot of monkeys who come onto my, they're monkeying around talking out of the side of their neck. Oh, maybe that works for people on, but for people who are natural, that doesn't work. I'll tell you this, homie. The way that I train to this day, it's been tweaked. It's been, upgraded. I've learned a lot. But my training style from before TRT hasn't changed too much since after TRT, man. I'm going to talk about that. People could say what they want on the internet, but the way that I would train or tell somebody who's not on TRT would be the same as I tell someone on TRT. So please, just miss me with the comments, homie. I know what I'm talking about. I was building a physique before TRT. Hate to break it to you. I had a six-pack before I got on TRT. I had I had low T while I was doing it, and obviously I built a lot of muscle since then. But my training style hasn't changed. So the way I recommend training to people, off TRT is the same on TRT. It doesn't change, despite what you may say about whatever you want to talk about. So that's your story, homie. I'll let you tell that one. However, so, and then like I progressed and I've learned things, about like splitting up cardio and the weights. I started splitting up cardio and the weights, and that made, I noticed that helped me a lot with my physique. I could put my heart and soul into pump and iron. I could do morning fasted cardio, get real shredded. I like splitting it up so I could put my heart into each. It wasn't too overwhelming. And then it's more movement too, because, you're doing 2 different sessions, in the day or whatever. So I've always been a guy who pretty much trains 5 days a week and takes 2 days off, full days where I do nothing. I've never believed in active rest day, all that nonsense, all the craziness in the head. I've always believed that rest days are rest days, and let your body heal and, do what it wants to do. So I've always been like 5 days, and then 2 days, wherever the 2 days fall. If they're in a row or 2 different days, doesn't matter, as long as I'm not training more than 5 days a week, but that's my belief, So I've tweaked it, and I've changed the regimen, and I've found what works, and and I'm going to tell you a few things that I find that work, and hopefully this will help you. The number one thing, man, that I've learned through my progression in training is, and I just want to tell you this, man. You're looking at a guy who's gone for over 10 years now without falling off once, ever. Not for a week, not for 2 weeks. Never fell off, homie. Never. Never fell off. Which tells me that I've found what works for me. You want to find something that's sustainable. That's the word I'm looking for, man. You want to find something sustainable. So what I found works for me. So look, man, the first thing I've learned is this. The split, the rep range, all the extra nonsense, none of it matters but consistency. That's the biggest thing that I have learned. You find 100,000 fitness influencers. They're talking your ear off in every freaking direction, left and right, speaking up the wazoo, telling you what split, works the best, what science works the best, what rep range, this, that, all the terms, progressive overload, all that stuff, out the window, homie. The best thing, the only thing that matters is consistency, and you will make gains. I promise you. You find whatever split you enjoy doing. I've done them all, and I've made progress through all of them. It's all about what you enjoy that will make it so you don't fall off. If you don't enjoy doing it, if it's not fun, if it's not the split you want, or the rep range you like, or the way you hit the weights is how you want to do it, you're not going to stay on. Whatever you do, you find how you can do it to be consistent, and you will make gains. Consistency is all that matters. You find 100,000 fitness influencers. They all look freaking jacked. They all look ripped. The natural ones look good. The drugged out ones look good. They all look good in their own way. The natural ones look freaking ripped in a natural, good way. Sometimes you get questioning whether they're natural or not. That's how good they look. The drugged out ones look freaking amazing too. They're all consistent, homie. These people, they don't want to tell you. They want you to pretend that the split matters or the rep range or all that. Consistency matters. You will make gains on any of the splits, the rep ranges, whatever you do. If you're consistent with your training, this thing is about day in, day out, meal prep, freaking every single week without falling off. You got to find what works for you. Consistency with the eating. How can you eat so it's sustainable, so you don't fall off? How can you train so it's sustainable? How can you use stimulants if that's what you want to do? I trained for 6.5, almost 7 years non-stim. Freaking made most of my gains non-stim until I started the channel the last 3.5 years. That's when I found pre-workout and all that. Yada, yada, huda, huda. The point is, how are you going to use stimulants so you don't fall off, so you don't burn out? Stim breaks, rest weeks. This is about consistency, day in and day out. That's all that matters. I promise you, you'll make gains on all of it if you're consistent and do not fall off. Number 2, the second thing I've learned, this is all about getting high. And if you don't look at it like that, there's not a good chance you're going to stick to it. You have to connect the dots in that brain. 2 brain cells have to hit each other and realize this is all about getting high. Prayer and meditation, getting closer to God, it's about getting high. Spirituality, it's about getting high. Clean eating, it's about getting high. You get high when you're freaking feeling good and clean and tight and healthy, and you look in the mirror and you see that progress and the little cut coming there you didn't see before, and a little cut there and this and that. The training, it's about getting high. You hate cardio? You better start thinking about how it's about getting high. I'm going to suffer for about 35 minutes. It's going to be freaking, it's going to suck. My head's going to talk me out of it. But then I'm going to feel high. You got to connect it. All this 8+ hours of sleep. You're going to feel good tomorrow. It's all about, you got to be a dope fiend with this. Nothing gets in the way of a dope fiend and getting high. That's the second thing that I learned. So treat this like good dope. You gotta freaking realize that helping other people gets you high. All the things we do, it's all pieces to the puzzle to get high. The harder I push in that gym, the higher I'm gonna feel after. Suffer now to get high later. All about getting high. Number 3, science holds me back. Very few times has science where I really helped me, man. I'm a real back to the basics kind of dude, man. I don't need to do, the more I'm focusing on research and science and studying and finding out, well, this way of training work and compound movements and progressive deloading week and this kind of, everything, all these terms and that, it holds me back. Science holds me back. I've never been the dude in the gym with the notebook marking down all my freaking sets and reps and that. Too much thinking, man. And I'm talking about my experience, homie. If you like being in the gym and every single set you do, you pull out your little notebook and you make a note about it, good for you, homie. I'm talking, this is my channel. I'm talking about me. Science always holds me back, man. You can research your way into anything. You can find articles and science to justify any behavior. If you want to train, if you're saying, well, oh man, I want to, you know what, I think that I should train 6 days a week because your head's too crazy, it won't let you rest. You're going to find some science that says how that's okay and that's better and this and that. We can find the science we want to justify anything. Stay away from staying out of your head and live from your heart. Go hard on the iron when you're in the gym. You're going to build a relationship with your body. You're going to learn about your body, the muscles, the weights. Have a good time. You're there to get high, feel good, look good. And a lot of these things are intertwined. Stay away from all the dang scientists and internet researchers. There might be some dude who tells you, well, science says this exercise really doesn't work for you for building muscle. And you might say to yourself, well, I really enjoy that exercise. Well, then do that freaking exercise, homie. Do what you enjoy doing. As I say, you want to make it so you don't fall off. You might say, well, I do 36 sets for back. 8 of those are lower back, and the other 28 are for back, and a variation of back sets. Some might say, well, Mike Menser said that all you need is 8 sets. Good for him. There's other people who do high volume who look just as good. It doesn't matter, homie. The science will take you away from following this, and it'll leave you in here going crazy. And you can find science to justify everything. Sometimes we got to keep it old school, man, and just go in the gym and go hard on the iron. Stay out of our heads. It's okay, man. I promise you. This is a journey. You're going to learn a lot about your body, building a relationship with your muscle, and you'll move on. The 4th thing, and this one is a question that has helped me a lot. What's the end goal, man? What's the end goal? Am I going to be, my sponsor asked me that one day. He said, what's the end goal? Are you going to be Mr. Olympia? Or are you trying to feel good and look good, which you do? And that helped me bring a lot of balance into my life, man, because we get in our heads so much that we don't realize that life is precious, man. Time with loved ones. Go out to dinner, man, with your father, and, even if it breaks your regimen here and there, if you're really dialed in, man, allow yourself to have some balance in your life. It's a holiday. You better not be freaking thinking about counting your dang macros and carbs. You just enjoy the family time, man. You can't live in your freaking head. What you don't realize, man, and that I've had to learn, if you're so dialed in, man, and you let yourself relax a little, have a good meal here, your body's going to put it to good use, man. I've spent too much time through my journey staying in my head. I get invited out to a family event. I'm thinking about it for a week straight. How am I going to not eat? How am I going to, get out of this? How am I going to do that? That's not what this is about, man. This is we're not going to Mr. Olympia. If you're watching this and you're going to Mr. Olympia, God bless you. I'm not. I'm trying to feel good and look good and relax more and have more balance in my life, rest more, enjoy time with loved ones. Plan a rest week, man. Plan a stim break. Stay out of your head. You're not going to dwindle down from a rest week. Your body's going to thank you. Balance is very important, man. So ask yourself, what's the end goal? And you can only do that if you're a complete just slob and you just can't, you have no discipline, then obviously that's not going to be your problem. But if you're too regimented, it's okay, man. Give yourself room to breathe so you can enjoy this, man. The gains ain't going nowhere, homie. I promise you. And the last one is, this is a spiritual journey, man. God gave us this body to take care of, and this goes right hand in hand with God. Working out, cardio, working our heart, working our lungs, being in the gym, thanking God He even allows us to pump iron after the way I've acted and treated people, and I've destroyed my body from drug use, and the way, and God lets me pump this iron and feel good and be healthy and take care of myself and be on the right side of things, and I get to help people be healthy, and I get to help people do better and make gains. This all goes hand in hand with our spirituality, man. This is not separate. Working out and spirituality are not separate. So that's why it's important we don't beat our bodies down or abuse them or do crazy things or abuse stimulants where we're not practicing restriction. Practicing restriction takes us to higher spiritual levels. Not taking DMHA more than once or twice a week at the most, that might be crazy for some of you because there's no restriction, man. And you'll learn that restriction, whether it's eating, sex, the way we're conscious about how we speak, if you want to really get good at working out, you want to get ripped, help other people get ripped, man. Same as staying sober. You want to get sober, man, help other people stay sober. It all works together, and it's all God number one. God's going to show me what split to do. God's going to show me the rep range. God's going to show me how to eat clean. You might hear things different from God than I hear from God. You might be a vegan on keto or this or that or some carnivore. I might need to follow my heart and be on a more balanced kind of whatever it is, man. I'm just giving examples. This is a spiritual journey, working out. I believe that anybody who's with God is going to be working out and taking care of themselves. I just don't think that's a separate thing. So just remember, at the end of the day, man, God guides us on all of this. And this is about growing spiritually. And if we're growing, bodybuilding has given me a great spiritual practice about regimen, discipline, getting closer to God, helping other people, eating healthy, being conscious of what we consume. All those things we do get us closer to God. So those are the 5 things, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. God bless all of you, man. Together, let's get this dang muscle.